All right, thanks for tuning in to Chuk Woo's channel. I am Woo. Please like, share, and subscribe. Today we're going to be talking about the crisis in the fast rising price of gas. I'm going to explain why it's happening, and more importantly, I'm going to give you 4 steps you can take today, real steps, tactical steps to save up to $100 a month, okay? Let's get started. Walk with me. So what's happening? I think we all know the US has declared war on Iran and is in the middle of military operations. Iran has closed the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz is a critical choke point in the Middle East where 20% of the world's oil flows through. It's a critical and narrow passageway. I think at its most narrow point, it's only 20 miles wide. All sorts of shipping containers containing gas, liquid natural gas, oil, crude, Brent, what have you, fertilizer, all passes through it. And Iran has shut it down since war has started. Now, because of that, gas is up almost 25 to 30% here in the US in the last 4 to 5 weeks. That's a huge jump, okay? And it's really starting to impact people. Diesel fuel is also up. I think you know diesel fuel is used to transport much of the goods that come to our kitchen table into our homes. So that's also a problem. Even the state of Michigan has declared an energy emergency. So I say all this to say the war with Iran has started. They have closed the Strait of Hormuz. Critical energy supplies come through that strait. And what that means for you and me, it's costing us a lot of money already. Okay. So what's the impact of this, the closure of the Strait of Hormuz because of the war with Iran? Gas has gone from $4 a gallon, from $3 a gallon, to upwards of $4 a gallon right now, right? If that continues, if this trend continues and gas hits $6 a gallon, which isn't far off, let's say this thing goes on for another month, you could be looking at $120 a month impact to your budget, meaning it's going to cost you an extra $120 a month just in energy prices to fuel your car, to fuel your home, etc. So this is real. This is happening. Grocery prices, which were already high since the end of COVID, we're all aware, they're also up. Why? Because I said the semi-trucks that deliver and transport these groceries, they use diesel. The price of diesel is up. They're going to pass those transportation costs over to us. Cereal, milk, eggs, meat, anything at the grocery store is now sky high in my opinion. Rideshare prices are up. If you've been using either Lyft or Uber, you've been trying to go out, I was out last night, I've seen that the price of Ubers have gone up at least $3 to $4, which isn't a lot when you think about it, but if you use them continually and if this trend continues, these are all just, it's death by 1,000 cuts. Everything is going up. Gas, rideshare, groceries, general energy costs, and it's really starting to eat into us. This is all bad. I'm going to say it bad, bad, bad. Okay. That's the bad news. Now, you know why it's happening. You know the impact, and you've already felt the impact. I didn't tell you, I didn't need to tell you that. Now, let's get practical. On this channel, I like to talk about not only problems, but some real solutions that you can start to enact today. What is step 1? Change your driving style to save money on gas. Drive 5 to 10 miles slower per hour. Maybe you want to set the cruise control in your car. That's going to save you some money. Avoid hard acceleration. If you're like me, I have a fast car and I like to go fast. I step on the gas like a madman. Stop that. The rush of gas that flows into your engine when you floor it, when you really step on the acceleration hard, it's basically the equivalent of traveling 3-4 miles. It really, really decreases your gas tank. You want to remove roof racks from your car. Those things weigh 50 pounds. And if you actually have things on top of the roof pad, that's another 50 pounds. Decrease the weight of your vehicle to increase fuel efficiency. Take off your roof racks unless you absolutely need it. That's 100 pounds right there. Unload your trunk. Like me, I was looking at my trunk. I had one of those Poland Spring 32 crates of spring water bottles. Took that bad boy right out. That thing's probably 30 pounds. Decrease the weight of your car. Make it more fuel efficient. That's first thing. Driving style and basic car economics. Step 2, you're going to want to start to look for cheap gas, obviously. How do you do it? Use Gas Buddy. It's an app for cheap gas that can save you 5 to 15 cents per gallon. Go to Costco for gas. My girlfriend has a Costco card. I've been picking back and off that thing for the last few weeks. I don't shop at Costco. Now I'm going there all the time. okay? That could be 10 cents per gallon cheaper. You all know this. Sign up for gas rewards programs. Shell, BP, Chevron, they all have those programs at the pump. You might want to look into those. I've never had them, but every time I'm pumping gas, I see the alerts to say, hey, sign up for this. And I always click no, maybe I'm going to click yes. And then if you have a credit card that has cash back for gas, use it. I'm not saying necessarily go out and open another credit card just for gas savings, but if you already have a credit card in your wallet that does give you great rebates on gas, using it at the pump, you might want to make that your primary card for gas purposes, okay? So we talked about changing your driving style and unloading your car. Talk about looking for cheaper gas. Another thing, look for some commuting alternatives, right? Negotiate to work from home with your manager. Obviously, there are people who can't do this. If you're a delivery person, if you work in the medical field, you're a nurse or a doctor, you can't work from home. So I understand this piece of advice isn't going to be for everyone. But if you're like me, look and work with your negotiators, see if you can work from home 1, 2, 3 days a week to save money on the commuting costs. It never hurts to ask. The answer might be no, but it never hurts to ask. And believe me, they're going to sympathize with you. Why? Because your boss, the HR folks, they're all feeling the pinch too. We're in this together. No one is immune from these rising costs, all right? Carpool with your coworkers. You spend 8 hours a day with them anyway. What's another hour? 30 minutes in, 30 minutes out. Start up a group chat. Maybe you use Slack or Teams at work, or just talk to your coworkers. See if any of them, some of them you already know, live in your area. See if there's an opportunity to start a carpool. I mean, not only is that going to save you money on commuting costs, it's going to hopefully help you get to work sooner, because if this really catches on, you're now talking about a single car with 3 people in it as opposed to 1 person in it. That's going to reduce traffic. So carpool with your coworkers if possible. And then the final thing, if it's available in your area, use public transportation. Those of you who are in New York, obviously are using the subway, so you already know this. But other people in more metropolitan areas that have a pretty efficient mass transportation system but still choose to drive because it's more convenient, it's more flexible, you might want to look into mass transportation. Start slow. You don't have to go from driving to the office 5 days a week to using the subway or the bus system every day. Do it for a day a week and see how it goes. You know, you might even find that it's better. One thing about driving is convenient because you can leave whenever you want. Your car is always there. But there's a lot of stress, in my opinion, associated with driving, particularly in traffic on the way to the office. I find myself in a bad mood by the time I get to the office because of all the traffic here. So maybe you'll find that even though you don't have the flexibility and the freedom to use your own car, the actual stress level goes down because you're not behind the steering wheel. You're just riding the bus or what have you, okay? So alternative commuting options. Now, what's step 4? Save some money, make money. I've said in a few of my videos, one of the main things on this channel I focus on is trying to make money, right? Or save money. Basically, those are cousins, right? Step 1, open a high interest savings account, right? Let's say you put $4,000 in it. I know some of you are going to say, hey, I don't have $4,000 to start with. Otherwise, I wouldn't be watching this video. But just walk with me for a second. If you had $4K, you put it in a high interest savings account. That's about $20 a month saved. In interest earned. It's not a game changer, but it's something. I said at the start of this video, we're all getting hurt by death by 1,000 cuts. So you have to go in the other way. Improve your situation with 1,000 tiny small steps. And this might be one of them. Delay your travel plans until after the holidays. Travel expenses are up. If you're planning to drive, probably not a good idea. Even if you're flying, the gas price and the tickets are up. So if it's possible, you might want to delay your travel plans until after the war ends. That's very inconvenient, but we're dealing with an inconvenient situation and we're all going to have to be flexible. We're going to have to make sacrifices. All right. Use your car instead of an SUV. Americans, you know, if you're like me, you love your SUV, but if you have a sedan at home, you might want to start to use your sedan. Going from a SUV that gets you 20 miles per gallon to a car that gets you, let's say, 30 miles per gallon, that's 50% saves in miles per gallon. So you might want to look into that option. Obviously, it's not going to be an option for everyone. Some people don't have multiple cars, but if you do have a sedan and you do happen to have another car at home, you do have a truck and you happen to have a sedan at home, you might want to look into a sedan, okay? So these are the tactical steps. We understand what's happening. There's a war in Iran. The Strait of Hormuz is closed. That's impacting gas and diesel prices. You're looking at spending upwards of an additional $120 a month. Impact to your budget. Grocery prices are up. Ride share. All of it is bad, okay? Change your driving style. Unload your trunk. Take the roof rack off. Look for cheap gas. Sign up for a gas rewards card. Go to Costco. Use your credit cards for 5% cash back on gas. Look for alternative commute, negotiate to work from home, carpool, use public transportation. Finally, like I said, open an interest account to offset some of this increase in expense. Delay your travel plans until after the war ends and use your car if you have one, okay? Hopefully you found this helpful. Let me know in the comments if there are some other actions that you're taking. I know a number of people that I work with are now not only carpooling to work, but they're also using, one guy told me he's using a car that's a diesel vehicle because apparently diesel, the price of diesel has gone up a little bit less than the price of gas. So if you have that option, that's another way. But again, thanks for tuning in. Let me know what other things you found that are helpful in the comments. This is trying to form a community here. Like, share, and subscribe. This is Chukwu for Chukwu's channel. Thank you and take care.